Jordan Schultz tweeted yesterday that Eric Bieniemy was interviewed for the Patriots OC job before it went to Josh McDaniels. Schultz went even further than that and said the belief was that Bieniemy was a top candidate for the Patriots OC job had McDaniels not been the obvious choice. Says talks with other teams are ongoing. Now, I saw Burt Breer last night, and Breer said that he does not believe that Bieniemy was a top choice. He does not believe that Bieniemy was right behind McDaniels. But a couple of things that I find interesting about this report. A, how many clandestine interviews did Mike Vrabel do? We don't know. Eric Bieniemy is a pretty big name. He's been in the league for a long time. He knows a lot of people. And you would have to imagine if Bieniemy, he interviewed for the OC gig, you would have to imagine that would get out at some point. And the fact that it got out this late in the process, I wonder if Mike Vrabel spoke to other people about jobs, and we have no idea. Like, we have no clue. It's also interesting that Bieniemy, of course, his background is, again, the West Coast offense, which marries Mike Vrabel's history. Of course, Bieniemy was with Andy Reid in Kansas City for a long time. So he runs that West Coast system, which is another signal that I think Josh McDaniels' offense will include some of that West Coast stuff that everybody talks about. I keep believing that. Thomas Brown, we talked about him on Monday, right? Some of these, Ashton Grant, the quarterback's coach, these links with West Coast offenses. Vrabel was talking to Bieniemy, West Coast offensive guy. So I think we're going to see at least some of that within this McDaniels offense in 2025. I also believe that there is a clear difference between being a candidate and the top candidate. So I don't know how much Bieniemy was actually involved. Again, Burt Breer said, not really a favorite. I would take McDaniels over Bieniemy, by the way. I mean, Bieniemy has 4 years of calling plays experience in total. When he was in Kansas City, he wasn't calling the plays. Andy Reid was calling the plays. And I don't know who Eric Bieniemy is without Patrick Mahomes and without Andy Reid. I mean, he went to Washington a year ago. Let me just plug in the power here. He went to Washington, and they had Sam Howell and kind of a bad quarterback situation. So I don't know what to take from that, right? And, of course, he was at UCLA this year. He did not go back to Andy Reid. He did not go back to Kansas City, which is certainly interesting. He's also kind of, people have talked about his personality at times. I don't know if he's beloved across the league by everybody. I'm perfectly fine with McDaniels. McDaniels was my top choice, so I'm very happy with Josh McDaniels.